quite excited. It was the largest string at 22, but after 8 years of taking horses to sale, we feel we're starting to come of age now. We're very happy with the results on the track, and we know, of course, what's in the pipeline, and this is what excites us. This is, of these 22, we've certainly taken the selection criteria in terms of pedigree very, very seriously, and then again the physical inspection. So we believe that we have a good cross-section. We've got very well-established stallions, the likes of the Sylvanos, the Western Winters, the Captain L's, that one would hope to have. Obviously very excited with our Mamba and Seattles, of which we got 6 on the sale. Horse Chestnut, Black Minnaloos, flavour of the day stallions, and good specimens and good pedigrees to boot. The Captain L is a very strong individual. He looks like a very precocious sort and might have been a candidate for Book 1, but we, you can't just take one horse. Our foals were generally later this year. So he is an obvious candidate, very, very strong horse. Looks like a sprinter. He looks like he wants to partake in this year's 2-year-old races. He's from the Horse Chestnut family, out of our own sister to Moniela, who has produced a stakes horse herself already. So ongoing updates in that family. It's just, very strong. We're particularly happy with him. He's a first foal of a very useful mare that we have, Cinnamon Sugar. She was handy. She won 2 stakes races on the sand, but the mating is just such a no-brainer. With she's out of a Kentucky Slough mare, more Seattle Slough, both sides of the equation. It's just stereo of the family that we like so much, and I don't have to say anything about Fort Wood as a broodmare sire. When you set out to breed a Sylvano, I imagine that you want to breed a classic horse. You want to breed a Derby winner, J&B Met winner, or Durban July winner, or even the Melbourne Cup, the way things are going in South Africa, and this is what we had in mind. This is a Sylvano colt, a lovely leggy Sylvano colt out of a Roy mare. I've just come back from South America, and we all know that Roy mares are basically like hen's teeth. He is a superior broodmare sire. So a lot of excitement about the physical appearance of this specimen that is such a good nick and a good mating in the first place. A lovely Western Winter filly. She's a half-sister to a horse we bred called Thanks John, Jalad, who won 6 races. So a good pedigree, Elidor mare, family of Roland Song. So to have that confirmation on top of the pedigree is an excellent result. Lovely filly, and has a nice action as well. This is still a sale that people would expect to get the whole range of horses from. From a good buy, from a buyer's perspective, to a good sell from a seller's perspective. I'm cautiously optimistic. I would be thrilled, naturally, if it went through the roof, but my prediction would be for a good, solid, steady sale, rather than a spectacular one.
They're at the post. They're off in the Dominion Day Stakes. And it's by Ice Bear on the front end. Ice Bear leads it by a length. Approval rating to attend the pace in second. And Michael's Bad Boy is third. Then we have Equitable in a 4th position and Cool Gator is 5th. Down to the inside is Vacation in 6th position. Then Marchfield and Perfect Bullet. The opening quarter was in 24-1. Marchfield still has that wall of horses in front of him. Being scrubbed onto the inside is Equitable, and they're inside the quarter pole. It's approval rating, and McElhaney hasn't really got down on approval rating yet. Now he sets them down and kicks away by 2.5. And here comes Vacation for John Velasquez, and Marchfield will split horses in the last 16th of a mile. Here comes Marchfield forging to the lead, and it's Marchfield and Patrick Husbands to win the Dominion Day. They're off in the Autumn Stakes. And Stunning Stag has joined Palladio and Ice Bear and ran by them. And it's Stunning Stag in front. Marchfield will try to come up the rail. On the outside is Artie Hot. Here comes Stunning Stag. Ice Bear's resurgent on the inside. Here comes Marchfield fresh. Marchfield, last ride to win the Autumn Stakes. Defeated Stunning Stag and Ice Bear. Artie Hot was fourth. They're off in the Sky Classic. And it's Marlang, tackled now by Rahi's attorney at the quarter pole. Then Medjool, Champs-Élysées, and Marchfield is closing like a shot on the far outside. And it's Marchfield and Champs-Élysées. Rahi's attorney doesn't have it this afternoon. Marchfield has taken the lead. Rahi's attorney, Medjool, final 16th of a mile. Marchfield and Champs-Élysées. Marchfield, racing's newest millionaire.
Yeah, Marchfield was identified as a 2-year-old by Charles Fall, again when he was over there looking at another horse as a stallion prospect, and he came across him. And we basically followed Marchfield's entire racing career from a 2-year-old right through to a 5-year-old, where we made inquiries about him being for sale every 6 months. And he wasn't, the owner was just having too much fun. And then I read on Blood Horse that he'd been injured in his prep for the Breeders' Cup Turf, and we started negotiating. We finally made a deal, a firm deal, that we would buy him should he not make it back to the racetrack. We were asked to give him 6 months. He didn't make a recovery, but the owner at the time told us that his wife liked the pedigree, and for that reason he was going to retain him. And he moved him to Canada along with a large contingent of his broodmares from Florida. So he covered a very, very good book of mares in his first season in 2011 in Canada, 80 mares, which is big for Canada, and we scrutinized the pedigrees. Over 2/3 of those would have been what we would call national sale pedigrees, so of the top order. And I managed to see some of those yearlings, and Joe Brocklebank saw some of them in Florida and sent us the footage, and they were excellent. They were of the same caliber of what one would expect: good bone, very correct, standing over ground, athletic horses. So it was a big factor in us deciding to proceed in the purchase of this horse. And then the Canadian government changed the legislation about the takeout purse from the casinos and basically dumped the entire Canadian industry into a free fall, which resulted in the ease of purchase of great horses like Philanthropist and now Marchfield for South Africans. So South Africans have basically plundered where the Canadian government have damaged their own people. He's got excellent bone, he's got excellent conformation, and very, very correct. I think the most important thing to know about him is he was a very serious racehorse. In terms of these boxes that one needs to tick, in terms of a stallion making it, to basically stack the odds in your favor that your stallion would be, in fact, one of those, the one out of the 20 that's going to make it. And he does, in terms of he was a very serious racehorse. He was precocious enough to be stakes placed as a 2-year-old. He was a classic winner as a 3-year-old. He won the 3rd leg of their Triple Crown. And then he was champion older horse in Canada at 4 and 5. And basically got injured in training for the Breeders' Cup Turf, where he was well fancied. He earned over $1 million on the track, on turf and polytrack, which is kind of what we would be interested in this country.
Final 16th of a mile, Marchfield and Champs-Élysées. Marchfield, racing's newest millionaire, has won the Sky Classic over Champs-Élysées and Medjool.